So now let's start. Let's go back to our code. All these buttons, we want to get the buttons. Okay, let's get the first button. Let's say this button is arithbtn 1. This is arithbtn 2, arithbtn 3. So we know that these are buttons, one button after the other. So it means that they are all different IDs for now. They cannot be the same. So if I use query selector to get this into my JavaScript, it means I'll only get one. And then if I use this unique name to get this in JavaScript, I'll only be able to access the inner HTML of 2. If I grab this, then I'm going to get arithbtn 3. If I type dot inner HTML, it's going to give me 3. All right, let's go. JavaScript. I said we're no longer going to use var keyword. Let's use let's btn. Yes, let's arithmetic btn 3 equals, use this method to get it from HTML document dot get element by ID. What is the ID name? It is goes with hash symbol. I don't even need to use hash because I'm getting by ID already. dt arith btn 3. All right, save. Now that I have this, I have my console to check what exactly is holding that particular, what is in that particular variable, arith btn 3. So this is to check what this contains. All right, so let's go to our browser to check. Fresh. Okay, so I got a null. Is it null? Which of this? I'm still saying this one here. Let me know which exactly is going on. Who's not in this class? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our code. Let's use a class. Remember, we have all these nonsense and this thing. ID doesn't give us enough. Always use class to do your movement apart from query selector. So this is the one we are accessing, class. So document or get element by document or query selector. Query selector for class is good. Okay, so let's share our screen. Okay, so you can see now, I don't want all these tags to be showing. I want the inner HTML, which is 3. So let's go back. To our code. And type dot inner HTML. We are getting 3 already, but let's use dot inner HTML so that we can actually see what we are getting. So let's go back and share our page. Now we get 3. This is what we want. And now if we want this 3 to display here, even without clicking any button, we can actually set it in our JavaScript. So since this is the variable this is 3 now. This is dot inner HTML, this will give us 3. Let's remove this. We are no longer console or login because we know what we are getting. we are going to reassign a new value to screen area. Screen area is now going to be equal to, since screen area is the entire div, all right, for the screen, what the person types, let's set it equals to this new variable that we are getting. So screen area is now going to be equal to arith btn3 dot inner HTML, which is going to give us 3 exactly, because 3 is the inner HTML for that particular button. This is it. Inner HTML is 3. We use document operator selector to get it. Then we say dot inner HTML, which is 3. Then if we go back, share and view, you refresh the page. Okay. We're not console login. Okay, this is type here. We're still getting this. What's going on? Let's go back and see. Let's see if I save my JavaScript. Okay, so what's going on? Screen area equals arithbtn3 dot inner HTML. Let's see. Let's go with 0 again. Let's see. Let me see what's going on. So let me share my screen. Okay, something is going on. So something is going on. I must have updated something in my code. Okay, so sorry. Screen area dot inner HTML. So sorry. Dot inner HTML, because I'm also updating the inner HTML of this guy. All right. So this is going to be arith btn3 dot inner HTML. Save. So let's go back to our browser, refresh, check it, refresh. So you can see now that this particular button is actually what is showing here without clicking on it. You know, we can just add an event listener so that when we click, it will display, click, display, click, display. But right now we are not adding event listener. We just pick the value of this particular button 3 and we uploaded it to this point. First of all, before I proceed, I want to ask questions. Who have questions to ask? Anybody have questions to ask? Do you understand the dot inner HTML?
Like grass eater.
No question. No question. Okay. So it means that everybody understands how to make the screen area display something. And all right, so let's go back and readjust our button and then create a class for this particular element. So all right, so now let's go back to our HTML so that I can adjust this. I want to give it an ID of arithbtn so that it will pick the design that we have in our CSS, arithbtn, which is a uniform design for everything. And okay, didn't put this one backward. Okay, so it's a save. So I'm giving this one to a class. Am I going to give it a class? I'm not sure. No, let me use only this one first. Let me use this one to do the testing so that you guys will see before I now use array to I need to teach you array because you see, I'm teaching calculator, but there are lots of JavaScript methods that you need to know. You need to know all those JavaScript methods, and I'm going to teach you those things. But let's begin with this first. All right, so all these ones have ID. I'm going to remove them. All these numbers, allow them to be what they were before. Okay, so let's go back and test. Well done, Tamara and Jason. Thank you for writing on my screen. So now that is sorted. Let's go to our JavaScript now. Let's add a button that will click and then it will display on the screen. So we know that screen.area.inner HTML will need something, right? You know how to create a function.
Sir, it was not me that put the pen, it was Jason.
Oh, Jason, thank you very much. The class is recorded. I'll send it to your mom. Thank you very much. So let's go now. So what we need to do now is, since we know that this is a button, so we just use arith btn 3 dots add event listener. You know that the event listener is to create a kind of method that can listen to the hardware component of your machine. So you can be when a button is pressed on your keyboard or when the mouse is clicked, which is what we have been working with. I've been teaching you guys over for a while now. So we want to add an event listener called click. All right. And then once it is clicked, something should happen. Okay. So that means we want to run a function. And to run a function, we always use this old friend. This is how to create a function. Function usually go with the E most times. The reason is because the E is an inbuilt method that helps you to do some things with your browser. You know, it is called events. It's short form for event. So whichever one you're more comfortable with, E or event. All right. So function events. When we click, we want this function to run. And when this function runs, we want to do something. Now we can now execute our codes in this particular area. This is a block. This is a block of code. arith btn 3 is a button that is going to cause that code to run. Like, for example, we can now say that the screen area dot inner HTML I hope I'm getting it. Screen area dot inner HTML. If you're getting it right, JavaScript will show you that options. Screen area dot inner HTML should now be equal to that same 0. You see, but it will only happen when btn 3 is clicked, right? Okay. But there's something we're going to do. We are going to prevent default. Event dot prevent default. What this means is event dot prevent default is to stop the page from reloading, because normally when you click on a button, what you want to do is that the button usually thinks you want to submit something. Okay, whenever you click on a button, it looks as if you want to submit a form. So, but you use this event to prevent that default action of your browser. So event.prevent default will stop the browser from refreshing. All right, so the page can just go down and execute this line of code. So let's test it now. Okay, so this is the one that is having the class. So let's click on it. You can see now that the moment you click on 3, this screen area became 0. This is because we were able to execute that line of code. Hello? Yes. Connect again, you join the meeting. We'll still have a little time before we close. Join the meeting. Okay, so you can see now that since we are using btn 3.add event list now, why don't we just change it from this to 3? It will make our life much easier. So every time btn 3 is clicked, the screen area should add the figure 3. That's it. Okay, so let's go back and try it. Fresh. 3. What's happening? So I'm clicking it and it's no longer functioning. Why? Why is it not working? Why? Why? You said what? You said what? Nobody can tell me why it's not working. All right, so let me show you why, the reason why. Okay. One of my students said he cannot hear me. Please, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So, Munachi, I don't know why you cannot hear me. You cannot get anything from the class, or you cannot hear anything. You said it's disconnected. I don't understand. Told me he's not here. Let me call the dad and find out why he's not in the meeting. And at the same time. So let me show you why this thing is not, why it's not adding up. Let me show you. When we use screen area.innerhtml equals 3, that means it is a one-time event. You cannot do any other thing. It will just be equal to 3 once you click. But if you add a plus here, plus equals 3, you are going to get a feedback. It's going to get a feedback plus equals 3. Watch what will happen. Watch what's going to happen. I'm going to refresh the page. So this is it. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, but this guy is still here, right? Okay.
Why not?
It's not supposed to be here. So let's go back. So our code, because that is what I click 33333. That's what I clicked. So the first thing that I want to happen is screen area. When we click on our button 3, we want screen area dot inner HTML to first of all become empty. Hello. Do you get the logic now? First, let the screen area becomes empty. When it's empty, after that, add the next line of code to it. Let's test this and see what happens. Okay. This is not actually the best way to do it, but I'm teaching you everything you need to know gradually with this JavaScript. So refresh the page. 3. My type here is not leaving my screen. There must be, okay, no problem. Let me go back and clear it out totally from my HTML.
If I can pull bottle water.
So let me clear it totally. This class, I'm going to take it again because I know that a lot of you may not understand what I'm doing. So I'm going to take it again. All right, so that's it. So let me just take this step one more time. Share the screen. Refresh. So that is 3. If I click other buttons, it will not respond because I've not added event listener to other buttons. This is why you need array. With array, we can store all these variables using document or query selector all. It will select all the ID, put them in a single variable, then we can loop through the buttons. We'll loop. We use loop, forever, repeat, all those things we use in Scratch. Repeat, forever block, or we can use statement like switch. Case 1 is pressed, do this. Case 2 is pressed, do this. Case is 3, case is 4, case equal sign is clicked. This is what should happen. Do you understand? All right. Any question from here so far? You check where you're sitting most times. Your network is always giving us. The network, the area where you're sitting, having the class, that's where your network is giving you issue from. Maybe you should ask a question now. Maybe I can hear you. Go ahead and ask questions. I can't hear you. Tamara and Jason, do you have any question you want to ask?
No, sir.
All right. The Okoyes, any question? You want to ask me a question? They can't hear me. They've complained that they cannot hear me, and I'm just wondering. All right. When I come around, I'll see you guys one-on-one, and then I'm going to explain further this particular class, just for you to understand it better. All right. So let's call it a day because it's getting late already. Okay. Thank you very much. The class is recorded. If you want the video, please let me know. Send it to you. All right.
The video.
All right. No problem.